Who would be the first team to come back from the so-called Big Six if they were all relegated to League 2? With Man City's 115 charges looming and the possibility that might happen, I thought let's try it out with all of them. Let the race begin. But before we do, we must set their budgets. They are allowed 10,000 on their transfer budget, 5,000 available wage, and they are allowed $1 million in the bank. They must do what they can to make it back through sales, through sponsorships, whatever it is. Let the race start. First one to win the Prem. Let's see how long it takes. So we are at the end of season 1 here, but before we see who went up, let me show you something. As you're seeing right there on the screen, these are the transfers that happened so far. There wasn't many massive ones, but De Bruyne, Ben White, Colwill and Salah. They're the 4 big ones. Obviously Gabriel also left. Arsenal seem to got hit the most on this whole thing as well. No Man United players on there. Interesting to point out. Spurs obviously down below, but that's actually just a little loan move as well. So they're actually going in with their full strength teams. Let's have a look at the results. So now we know who's lost who, let's have a look at the results. And as you can see, Man City won the league, only losing 1 game all season, and that was to Tottenham away. They absolutely went on a flyer, and obviously they kept Haaland. They only lost De Bruyne in the process. And Man City, Liverpool, Tottenham and Arsenal all move up. United and Chelsea left behind. I don't really feel like I'm too surprised. No, not at all. But we're going to move on. We're going to look at it. Let's look at some of the stats. And when we have a look at it here, let's have a look at the player stats. And yeah, the player stats here. Jesus Saka leading the way. Man City must have seriously spread their goals out. Haaland had the highest expected goals with 18.4. But Jesus scored the most. That's quite interesting. I didn't really see that coming. Let's see how they all did in the cups. So Liverpool actually won the Carabao Cup. So they're still winning competitions. I wonder, will that hold on, or will they going to continue to lose players, especially Man U and Chelsea? Are they going to get stuck in the lower divisions as some of their big players are going to want to leave? They have to. I mean, they've got no ambition in real life, so to be honest, there are a lot of players probably won't leave. Chelsea got players on like 60-year contracts, so they're never going to leave, so maybe not, but let's see how the FA Cup went. And the FA Cup, Man City won it, beating West Ham 4-0 in the final, and obviously knocking Arsenal out as well, so that's also an interesting one there as well. Haaland top goal scorer in that competition, so again, they are still winning. But let's go one more year into the future. Let's see how they do when some of the teams are in League 1, and let's see if anyone gets picked apart. We are now on to Season 2, and with Season 2, the interesting part, in League 2, obviously 4 teams go up, but in League 1, only 3, meaning the 4 teams that have just gone up, one of them do get left behind. So let's have a look which team it is. And it's Tottenham. And the interesting part to this is Tottenham actually lost to Arsenal. That's the key to this. They lost to Arsenal in the final at Wembley for Arsenal to leave them behind. Arsenal go on to the next stage with Liverpool and City. The race for the first title back is still on. City, Liverpool, Arsenal to the Championship. But do Man United and Chelsea go, or does somebody crumble? Well, no. None of them crumble. They both go through. They're now into League 1 joining Tottenham. Can they catch up and can they win a title? I'm going to give them all about 10 years or so at most. Let's see what happens. But before we do, let's have a look at some of the transfers. So with the transfers here, as we're seeing, Garnacho being a big one, Endo Fernandez, both of them leaving, both actually joining the teams in the league above, going to City and Spurs. But the rest of them, Caicedo also going to City. Sancho's obviously gone, but that was a deal that had already gone through. Diallo off there. People are starting to leave. Xerxes gone. They are losing some players. And when we look at the leagues above, obviously they're going to bring in some of them, but Rodri, Bernardo Silva, Martinelli, these players are leaving. Saliba going to Madrid is massive. But obviously here, Bissouma, Maddison, Sarr, Spurs are getting picked apart. You can see why they didn't go up. They really got picked apart. But let's go on. Let's go on to Season 3. Let's see how we're doing. And so we're back for Season 3. And as you notice, top change. We may have had a slight problem with the PC, but we've reset it, ran it, we're back again the next day. Top change, so don't be confused. But we're going to get straight into this. And trust me, this is where it gets a little weird. I'm going to be honest with you, I did not see this coming. What we'll do first, we'll look at League 1. So, as we look over at League 1, Chelsea won the league again, once again topping Man United. But both of them have passed Tottenham. As you can see, there's a bit of a gap in terms of the points. We're starting to see some differences in the teams. And let's have a look at the transfers here as well. Because when you see the transfers, Garnacho's left them. Obviously, Udogie's gone. Hoyland leaves. Reece James. These teams are getting depleted. Tottenham have suffered a lot this season. That is a lot of people leaving, and a lot of big players are left from all the big teams, really. That is quite a big change. And we're going to have a look at the championship ones as well. And as you can see, Basuma, Jota gone, both from Liverpool. Declan Rice. There is quite a lot of changes going on there. But here is the difference. Here is where things get a little strange. I'm not going to show you necessarily who wins it, but let me show you something first. Do you see this? Are we looking at this? And that is what I wanted to show you. Liverpool lose to Bristol City. Bristol City. How? How? 26 shots to 11. 26 shots to 11. They lose to Bristol City. This is the team that they fielded. And yes, there is a few players in there that maybe aren't the levels, but you've still got Gomez, Konate, Chiesa, Szoboszlai, Diaz. That team still has to win. Crazy. Mad. But yeah, as expected, you probably guessed it. Man City, Arsenal, they win the title. Liverpool did finish third, a long way away from everybody else, but crumbled in the final. And as a United fan, I hate to see it. But we're off now to season 4. Let's have a little look. Let's see, does somebody win it in their first season back in the Prem? Is it over already? Well, let's have a look. So heading into season 4, the main thing to look at is now Liverpool have been held up, meaning Tottenham, United and Chelsea are joining them in the Championship. But that means one thing, only 3 teams can go up. 1 team will miss out again, but is it all over anyway? Have Man City won already? But who is going to win in Europe first? Even if somebody does win, I'm going to look into the future. But let's have a look at the Championship. And the playoff final was Man United versus Tottenham. And as you can see, Man U win 3-1. Tottenham have been left behind. Is that not the most Tottenham thing you've ever dealt with in your life? Well, yes, of course. But let's have a look at the league. When we see the league, it's very easy. Chelsea, Liverpool, they take it. They're going straight up as well. Man United will join them. But let's have a look at the Prem. Is the Prem already over? Has City done it on their first season back? Have Arsenal done it on their first season back? Well, maybe. But then again, maybe not. So, Man City and Arsenal do not win it, but they are in the Champions League spots. Newcastle once again won the title because if you look on here, since everybody got kicked out of there, Newcastle have dominated the league and won time after time and time again. They are 4-time back-to-back, equaling Man City's record, but will they get a 5th? Will they go on? And with Man United, Chelsea and Liverpool returning to the league, can they continue their dominance? Let's have a look at season 5. We are starting off straight away season 5 because I want you to see this page. Tottenham didn't even win the title with none of the big lot around them. They finished 4 points off. Yes, they were comfortable, 9 points away from third, but come on. Spurs, really? Even in an FM save, you're still bottling? We're going to move on. I'm going to leave Spurs alone. We'll let it go. Does anyone take over in the Prem? Well, do Newcastle keep dominating? Let's find out. City have ended the reign of Newcastle. As probably expected, they're the first team back. They win the title. They are right back at the pinnacle. Arsenal don't even get Champions League. And obviously Chelsea and Man United, as per usual, are sat 9th, 10th, mid-table. Both still stink. No matter where we are, they're actually a negative goal difference. That is absolutely shocking. Let's see if any big transfers had happened. And looking around, they're not really scattered with these lot anymore. But Chiesa has left. Olmo has arrived at Arsenal. And Arsenal have gone backwards. So I think all in all, I kind of expected it, kind of saw it coming. But what I'll do is I'm going to skip forward a few years and I'm going to have a look at how they do now they're back in Europe and all that stuff as well, just to wrap it all up. So let's jump forward to, let's say, season 8. We'll give them a few seasons. Let's see what they can do. So we fast forwarded into the future. We're in 2031. We have given them 3 seasons now with all of them back in the Prem to see how they can do. And do Man City dominate? No, not exactly. But yes, at the same time. So let me quickly show you. These are the past winners of the Premier League. So as you can see here, Arsenal in the second season back in the Premier League that we've seen here as well, with them all in there, with everybody back in, Arsenal win it third. Newcastle do remain third place in the last 3 seasons though, and have to finish in second in City's first title win back. And Man United are now back in the mix. They're finishing second, but City win 3 of them, Arsenal win 1. This is absolutely massive, but how do they do in Europe? Well, let's have a look. So in the first of the seasons that we just skipped forward, Man City, after winning their first title, in the season that Arsenal win it, obviously Arsenal weren't in it because they finished 5th, Man City get knocked out in the quarterfinals. But as you can see, Newcastle do advance and they actually get all the way to the final where they lose to Inter Milan. They weren't part of this, but it was important just to see what they did. Now, we're going to look forward another season. In the next season, obviously, we have Liverpool back in here as well. They are well within the mix. Man City, Liverpool cruise through. Arsenal have to go through the playoff rounds, which is fine. They get through there. So let's have a look at how they do in the knockout stages. And in the round of 16, Liverpool and Arsenal both get knocked out, but Man City do advance. Can they be the team to go all the way and finally win one, get England back on the map? Well, no. They get knocked out the next round as well. They are out to PSG, and that is the end of the England run once again. But we're going to go through to the last season. Can it top it off? Can we finally get England back on the map? Let's have a look. So as we can see, in this one here, Arsenal actually topped the group stage or league phase, whatever you want to call it now. Man United also qualify automatically. Newcastle are still in the mix. They are in the playoffs, but Man City only finish in 10th. They will have to go through the playoff rounds where, of course, they win. Don't worry, Newcastle also through. So we're still on a push. We can still get an English winner. Don't worry, don't panic. We're still going. Let's have a look how they do in the knockout stages now. Man United actually knock out Man City, which is huge. Man United get the chance to be the ones to get back on, getting rid of them. Arsenal also get knocked out. Newcastle are through. So Man United and Newcastle are through to the quarterfinals. Newcastle get knocked out, but Man United with a huge win against Real Madrid, knocking them out, one of the greatest in Europe, and Man United keep pushing. Man United, are they going to be the team? It looks so likely. They're going to be the ones to top it all and really complete this save on top. Let me show you what they do. Yeah, they get spanked. I mean, you should have saw that coming. If you didn't see that coming, it's pretty poor from you. So, no one wins in Europe. Man City get back on top and keep dominating. Arsenal in the middle. Newcastle are the best team outside the Big Six. The Big Six fly back up and will automatically get back to the top, even after losing all their players. They're still going to be the Big Six. We have concluded it. We know that is it. Spurs have been replaced by Newcastle though, so we learnt that. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Comment down below what challenge you want to see me do next. Let's have a little look at it. There is a Discord, so join the Discord. As I said, subscribe to the channel, like the video. I'll see you in the next one.